request with things. Read up your things.
The word your obviously means
We must also consider what will constitute as things. Although general terminology is used here, if we do a cultural study based on archaeological findings, this would include anything and something.
everything that is sitting on the stairwell, which would imply that the entire area should be really kept in the spot.
That is so deep, like it's blowing my mind. We should really meditate on this.
And this quote is followed by an important and I quote, someone might be walking in circle over, which will fall by woman, another one. An accident like that is very serious.
And when mom gives a double warning, it is super serious.
Then it doesn't really matter how many people it doesn't, but it needs to be cleaned up.
A rhetorical question and then a repeat of the request.
And don't forget the word but right there in the middle of that sentence. It doesn't matter, but
It's pretty black and white, really, no room for debate. One would have to perform radical linguistic gymnastics to misinterpret those words.
no mistaking the extreme importance of this request.
Right, we need to go tell others about this.
Let's get it. But why don't we first write the leadership materials and shed light on this entire topic?
Good idea.
Just where are you guys going?
Oh, well, you see, I've just been too excited. Busy studying this question and telling others here of its importance. We're just getting ready to spread the word about our study. So I don't exactly want to get around to actually doing it. My intentions are sincere, and I mean well. at heart.
You dare say.
If everyone could stand and join us in this hymn, Bless the 10,000 Reasons, Bless the Lord. And we've been singing it with the kids, so you guys know this song. Bless the Lord, oh my soul, oh my soul, worship His holy name. Sing like never before, oh my soul, I worship Your holy name. The sun comes up, it's a new day dawning. It's time to sing a song again. Whatever may pass and whatever lies before me. Let me be singing when the evening comes. Bless the Lord, oh my soul, oh my soul. Worship His holy name. Sing like never before, oh my soul, I worship Your holy name. Your ways in love and slow to anger. Your name is great and Your heart is kind. For all Your goodness, I will keep on singing. 10,000 reasons for my heart to find. Bless the Lord, oh my soul, oh my soul. Worship His holy name. strength is failing. The end draws near and my time is come. Still my soul will sing your praise unending. 10,000 years and then forevermore. Bless the Lord, oh my soul, oh my soul. Worship His holy name. Sing like never before. Oh my soul, I worship Your holy name. Bless the Lord, oh my soul, oh my soul. Worship His holy name. Sing like never before. Oh my soul, I worship Your holy name. Yes, I worship Your holy name. Lord, I worship Your holy name. Sing like never before, oh my soul, I worship Your holy name. Yes, I worship Your holy name. Lord, I worship Your holy name.
We're reading from Matthew 28:16-20. When the 11 disciples went to Galilee, to the mountain which Jesus told them to go, when they saw Him, they worshipped Him, but some doubted. Then Jesus came to them and said, All authority in heaven and on earth has been given to me. Therefore go and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit, and teaching them to obey everything that I have commanded you. And surely I am with you always to the very end of the age.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Mother's Day. We have come to the audience participation portion of our service.
And don't think you're safe because you're sitting over there. That's not how it works.
Just play along. I've been reading as we celebrate Mother's Day in faith today, we thought it would be great to also celebrate the 175th anniversary of our Sunday school by learning about the history of our church and how our sisters and brothers carried out the Great Commission here in Palmyra. I'll be reading excerpts from a cute little amazing book written by Mr. Lloyd Griscom in 1953 to commemorate Epworth's centennial. The Epworth Methodist: A Century of Stewardship, 1853 through 1953. And if anyone wants to read this, we've got lots of copies in the library. It's very interesting. I've enjoyed reading the history, and I give thanks to the gift of wisdom that he left for us. I need some volunteers.
We need you for later, kiddo. If you don't volunteer, we'll just pick you. That's way more dangerous. Is that a volunteer in the back? Yes, yes. Hey, step right up. Yes. Any more volunteers? Any volunteers in this section? Oh yeah, man, come on over. Let's go. All right. Yes. Here we go. We got another wall coming in.
Hi, brothers. The men are coming. All right. We're good. Okay. Methodists have not quite gotten over calling their
congregation societies at the time of the first group was formed here. And thus, it was a Methodist society that was brought into existence in what was then the little village along the Camden-Amboy tracks. Don't build the church yet, man. Don't build the church yet. No building. I want everybody to shake hands. Can you guys turn around? Act like you like each other. Turn around. Shake hands. Brothers, all right. This is the Methodist Society. Yeah, everybody, shake hands. What an awesome job. This was in 1840. There was no meeting place as such, and not even a part-time minister. The society met in the homes of its members, and it was an event when a circuit rider from Morristown or some other neighboring circuit paid a visit. Can we have a circuit rider? Dun, 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 dun. The immediate concern.
Was that?
You gotta find someone.
Oh gosh, right, here we go.
Volunteers, you get drafted.
That's right. Oh man, or you can point to the people around it. Let's see, who's gonna throw who under? Oh yeah, Pete, what a great idea, thanks. Pete, come on up here.
Run around the church like a horse.
Oh, you don't have to run like a weed. There it is.
And the circuit rider paid a pause. The immediate concern of the local society was the formation of a Sunday school. Hey, circuit rider. Stand here. It might have been interesting to look in on the town pump discussions during 1853, for this was the year when the Methodists decided to build a church. Yeah. By the way, the town pump was in front of Town Hall on Broad Street. The decision made spectacular news in the village, for apparently the Methodist Society was the only organization of any kind in town, and its doings were a principal item of community gossip, especially when it was discovered that a lot had already been purchased for which to erect the new church building. The lot was a triangular piece of ground just across the railroad and a little north of the town pump, with frontage on the single-track railroad. It had been purchased from Elias Morgan for $285. Anybody have $285? Already, the Methodists were staking out a rectangular area for the church building and the rear of a lot for the graveyard. So our Methodist graveyard is still behind Town Hall because that was our original building. At this time, the Methodists had cooperated as a loosely knit society, but on June 15, 1853, a church certificate was signed and the Methodist Episcopal Church of Palmyra became a reality. So, now you can know the church. Oh, nice. During the next 12 months, the church was built, the first building of its size in the community, and it was looked upon as a community project. The simple two-story frame building was almost colonial in its plainness, lacking a spire. Okay, good. Okay. Lacking the spire, stained glass windows, and a bell, the building was most often referred to as a meeting house in the early years. At the dedication of the church in 1854, a select choir.
Hallelujah.
Thank you. Of trained singers was imported from Mount Holly for the occasion. The new minister, C.K. Fleming, was introduced to his congregation, and although Palmyra was only to be part of the Morristown circuit and would only have part-time attention for Mr. Fleming, there was an utmost cause for rejoicing. Rejoice! Within 7 years of the building of the local church, the clouds of war were hanging heavy over the land. Before long, troop trains were passing by the doors of the church. Thank you, very nice. The trains ran in both directions. After the first few months of war, carrying casualties to the north and new recruits to the south. escaped slaves aware of the freedom to be gained in the North. In 1876, quite a celebration commemorated the 100th anniversary of independence. Church membership, stimulated by the increased population, rose to 72 people. Woohoo! And a new Sunday school class was formed to take care of the incoming children. It was named the Centennial Class. The most significant jump in church enrollment occurred in 1886 and 1887. These years were marked by a migration from Philadelphia to riverfront towns, and more than 80 members were added. Don't sit down, guys.
Oh, sorry, keep going. Keep training.
2 years later, with the membership still growing, it was decided that the church was located too close to the railroad tracks. A change in the train schedules may have influenced this decision, or the improved choir may have been a factor. At any event, it had been found that the train flew through town with insidious regularity. I want everybody to make some train noises. Come on, be loud. Just when the choir was reaching the peak of its anthem, and while the faces bellowed like the bulls of Bashan, they could not be heard. Keep going. Furthermore, the train whistle blew through the entire choir off pitch. Mighty were the lamentations over this, and when the minister altered the order of the service to prevent the choir from being drowned out, he found the train drowning out the noise. Freeze! It is apparent that personal comfort, the present and future prosperity of Methodism, and above all, the glory of God, demand the erection of a more commodious Methodist Episcopal Church in Palmyra. The train pushed them over the edge. A lot was purchased for $800, and the cornerstone of this church was laid on October 24th, 1892. So now we need to move the church. And the church was completed and dedicated on September 10th, 1893. That's 1 year to build this church. Here's the church, here's the steeple, open the door and see all the people. One more time. Kids, you know this one, right? Here's the church, here's the steeple, open the door and see all the people. Very nice. On this day, too, an exhorter in the congregation named Carl Peterson arose from his seat in the Amen quarter and addressed the Methodists in unforgettable words. Everyone knew Carl's speech vernacular made the church sound like shirts, but nobody was quite prepared for the striking use of the word. Today, he said enthusiastically, "Do men have new shirts? Yes, and the ladies have new shirts. Glory be to God, brethren, and we thank him for the shirts." Can everybody say glory be to God? Glory be to God. Now, everything was fine for a little while. In 1913, the church school membership, still climbing rapidly, had reached almost 700. We need some kids.
Go, kids, go.
700. Attendance averaged 350, and many persons wedged into the restricted quarters of the building resulted in overcrowding, a likes of which we've never been known before. Can you guys imagine 350 people in the Sunday school rooms, which would have been that room and the rooms below us? When the Sunday school board had exhausted its imagination and patience trying to fit 2 classes in a space big enough for one, and had repeated the process time after time, it went before the official board and asked for the use of the church auditorium to house the main session of the Sunday school. Nobody liked this idea. The official board, impressed at length with the problem, discussed vaguely a possible enlargement of the Sunday school rooms. The cornerstone of the Sunday school temple was laid on January 15th, 1916. Here, Dan's the cornerstone. Thanks, Dan. Do you know what? We don't know if there's anything inside the cornerstone, but it's exactly 100 years this year, and we're very curious. The temple was dedicated on October 15th, 1916. So it's exactly 100 years old this year. Yay! No, you're still squished. Oh, actually, after the Sunday school temple was built, not so squished anymore. Spread out. Spread out. Spread out. Yeah, okay. This year, we celebrate 175 years of Sunday school and discipleship. We give thanks to God today for the people of Epworth who dedicated years to teaching and sharing their faith. We thank God for the children who come to this place and following in the footsteps of everyone who has come before us. Thank you, Cornerstone. Church, thank you. Can everybody give them a hand? I want to personally thank our Sunday school teachers this year. They have done a marvelous job. If you've been a Sunday school teacher, if you could please stand up. Anytime in the past, anytime in the future. I want to personally thank you because without our Sunday school, the Sunday school came before our church, and it's very important to remember that making disciples is what church is all about, and Sunday school is where it starts. So, thank you very, very much.
We're going to sing, He's Got the Whole World in Our Hands. Now, one of the things as we were going through and preparing for the service, most of us thought that He's Got the Whole World in His Hands was probably written in the 60s. It was written in 1924. So we thought that when we take a look back and think about this contemporary song, it's almost 100 years old now. So stand if you're able, we're going to sing He's Got the Whole World in His Hands. One of the other things we realized is putting this together is the kids have been studying about discipleship, and of that meeting space to take and bring people in, to take and to go forth and transform the world. And through the years, isn't that exactly what we have done? So what we want to try to do is just remind you of some of the things that we have done through the years. And I'm looking to see if people are bringing things in for you. Yes? No? Does anybody know it? Okay, we'll just go without it. What we had is we were having symbols with each one of these things brought forward. But let me just tell you briefly, here's what we came up with, and I know we've left things out, but get you an idea. In the 1990s, a group went off to do to Russia, and as a mission trip, Dale, Mike, you'll help me. How many times did you go? Just the one time, or?
No, we went several times. There was at least 5 trips, I think.
Okay, 5 trips to Russia. One of the other ministries that's been active for a long time are our prayer shawls ministry. And where's Joe? Joe, how many prayer shawls? Rough number? 2,000? Toward 1,000. Think about that for a minute. 1,000 prayer shawls. Operation Christmas Child's been going on for many years. Somewhere between 150 and 200 boxes a year. So well over 1,000 so boxes for that. The Bread of Life Food Pantry, if I'm right, is going to celebrate its 8th anniversary, 7th anniversary this summer. So that's been going on.
That's
and
20,000 people.
20,000 people have benefited from the Bread of Life Food Pantry. Mary's Closet is one of our newer ministries, but they give out bags of clothes all over the place. Many people have been coming to that. Vacation Bible School. We've been doing Vacation Bible School for many years. And an average of about 70 or so children come through every year. How about the Easter egg hunt? That goes beyond our doors to the community as well, and it takes those kids and helps them understand there's something special about Easter. Sandy Relief, we were there. We were sending on weekends people out to help clean houses out and do things during Sandy. Our communion offerings. Through the years, reach out to ministries all around the area. So we've have been doing that. One of the newest things is Cathedral Kitchen. It's down in Camden. We've had, over the years, the youth groups made sandwiches to them. Our newest thing is we're making utensil packets to bring down to them. So when people have meals, they'll have utensils for that. Our Thanksgiving dinner. It's only been, I think, 3 years we've done it. But
Everybody pretend you're Turkish.
So out of our plenty, we've been taking and being able to feed others, and that's just awesome. And finally, the last thing I want to just share is our United Methodist Women. It's countless programs and ministries. Yeah, I thought about nuts, but then equating nuts to our women might be offensive. So I was going to use styrofoam cups, but they've been banned from the church. So therefore, I wasn't quite sure what to do. So the United Methodist Women, through all of their ministries, take and support programs all over, including the neighborhood center and different places around. All of these ministries that we have here, to some extent, not all, but quite a few of them, are because of the women in our church and how dedicated they are to making a difference for other people. So as we think about discipleship, it's not only coming into the church, but it's how we go out into the church. So thank you all for all the ways we're making a difference in Jesus' name. Now, what we need you guys to do is to put everything down.
Over here.
over there, go over where the snake is.
This is for baby S. Youth, we may need your help up here. Come on, Candy, get one too. Come on. Candy needs one. Candy, grab E. You need an H. You need an H? Make sure you're in the right order. Thank you. Oh, okay. Come on, sweeties. Emily, do you want to come up? You want to come?
So as we were talking about, they've been studying discipleship.
Actually, Michael, can one of you guys do a letter for the little ones? Yeah. Let's include everybody.
Declare Jesus as Lord of your life. Chapter 1, Timothy 4:12. Investigate your time in godly truth. Chapter 1, Corinthians 9:24-25. Super Willing 1 to Can you tell me the gospel points? Romans 10. I should pray. 1 Thessalonians 5:17.
Please worship God. Psalm 100.
Learn to read God's word. Psalms 1:2.
Every disciple should go to church. Hebrews 10:25.
Show good character. Galatians 5:22.
How do you treat others? Galatians 6.
I am loved by God. Jeremiah 31:3. Present the Gospels to others, Mark 16, verse 15.
Discipleship. Very good. Okay. Put them down where you found them.
Our next song is Give Me Oil in My Lamp. And it's a song that we all know for maybe our vacation Bible school days. But it's certainly a song that helps us to understand how we're supposed to go forth as disciples.
Please stand. You know the lamp on Jesus. Give me oil in my lamp, keep it burning. Give me oil in my lamp, I pray. Give me oil in my lamp, keep it burning. Keep it burning to the praise of praise. Sing a song, oh, sing a song, oh, sing a song, sing a song, oh, sing a song, sing a song. Joy in my heart, give me joy in my heart, I pray. Give me joy in my heart, give me praise to the praise of praise. Sing, oh, sing,
One of the things that we learned as we read through the book that Sandy talked about is the generosity of the people throughout the ages to take and build a meeting house, to build a church, to build another church, to build a temple, to just continue to expand the ministry. And we need to keep that thought in mind as we take and understand that the ministry we serve and build today will take and serve in the future. So let's think about that as we receive this morning's gifts, tithes, and offerings. God, it's through gifts such as these that Epworth was made. May these gifts take and continue to help us build a bright future, to make a difference in people's lives, that we may make disciples to go forth and transform the world. In Jesus' name, amen. Thanks. One of the ways the church does stay close with one another is through our prayers that we lift up for those who need something to us, to care for us. And so as we come to this time of prayer, you're invited to share those things that are upon your heart. Not only those that may cause it to be heavy, but those that may cause it to be light as well. I want to take and especially lift up prayers this morning for the Van Deen family. Jean passed earlier this past week. Now, the arrangements for Jean right now are tentative for the beginning of June because of family and that sort of thing. So as they get finalized here in the next week or so, we'll pass them along. But right now, it'll be that first week in June. Also want to keep in prayer Ray Schill, who's been in the hospital but is going home today. Mary LePay, who's home and recovering from her knee surgery, so I want to keep her in thought and prayer. And all those that are recovering from different procedures and surgeries. Also want to take in the midst of sometimes all, like I said, of the things that are heavy upon our hearts, there are things that cause them to be light. We can celebrate. And somebody's a half a century old. Imagine a half a century old. And Donna, it's your mother's fault. She wanted to make sure we made reference to the fact that, Donna, you're a half a century old. That's pretty young compared to some people that are 3/4 of a century. So we celebrate with you. So let us set our hearts and minds upon God. So God, we come this day and just give thanks for all the women in our lives that have taken and influenced us, who have taught us, who have been patient with us. Don't need to be a mom to take and make a difference in people's lives. And I certainly do give thanks for all those that continue to make a difference in my life as well. We come and think of those that need healing to be in their lives today, and just ask that you be with Mary and Ray and Pat and Phyllis and so many others, oh God, that just need you in their lives today for strength and for comfort. We continue to pray for those, oh God, who have heaviness of heart because of those that have gone on to be with you. We pray for Emma and Jason and Mike and countless others, oh God, that may be upon our hearts this morning. You know what they need before we even ask. And so we come before you now, oh God, and simply ask, hear our prayers.
Face to face with our mountaintop, Lord. Be with them when their next day journey with you.
My brothers Riley, Freddie, Marcello, Christian, my sisters Malia, Brianna, and Kayla.
For those in Canada who have been displaced from their homes from this rage, Lord,
pray for my niece Julie, waiting in biopsy.
pray for my anti Allen, who is suffering with brain cancer, and his sons who are talking to me, and I know God sent him back home.
Thank you to all the mothers who took their children to church.
We
give thanks, O God, that no matter where we are, you are with us. And as your Son taught us, and now we pray together. Our Father,
hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever.
All right, so our last, I have to give a disclaimer before we start. Our last presentation here that you're going to see from the youth is a little bit off color, so I have to warn you in advance. This is something when I was in high school, I was at a youth conference in Ocean City back when they used to do that, and it was emceed by these two gentlemen that called themselves nothing more than the Skit Guys. And they wrote, if you remember when Pastor Charlie and I did the whole chisel thing, that was the Skit Guys. This is another thing from the Skit Guys. This in particular stuck out to me, and I thought it was very appropriate for Mother's Day, if it's appropriate. So you guys come, you guys right front center.
What keeps us from following God? Maybe it's procrastination. Procrastination of accepting things that we know are true. Procrastination of realizing the difference between good and evil. We procrastinate understanding right from wrong.
Hey, Mom.
Oh, hey.
So my friends are like, going to see a movie, and I know we talked about it, and I know what you think about it. You know that there's some cussing, but it's just a little bit. It's just a little bit. It's not real. It's just maybe there's some violence. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. But it's not real.
Right.
And there may be some nudity, like Hollywood these days, but.
I guess.
But it's just a little bit. It's just a little bit. It's probably not real. It's probably like CGI or something.
Gross.
But anyway, that please go. Pretty pleased.
Okay.
All right, I know it. You never let me do my wait. Did you say yeah?
You can see the movie.
You're the coolest one in the whole world. See you later.
Wait a minute. Before you go, I thought you might want to have one of my famous brownies that you love so much.
Oh, you know I love brownies.
It's for you.
Oh.
I do know that you don't know famous brownies. You love them since you were a little kid. Same quality ingredients that I always use, but this time I thought I'd add just one extra little thing.
You probably should mess with perfection.
No, this isn't too much, just a little bit. Shouldn't affect the whole batch.
Why would you change the recipe?
I just wanted to try something new. Just a little bit, you won't even notice it.
Some quality ingredients.
That's right, you got your cocoa powder, powdered sugar, eggs.
Brown sugar?
Brown sugar. Just, that one extra thing.
Cumin?
Nope.
Allspice?
No.
Allspice?
No. Funny, but just a little bit. It's just a little bit. The whole batch, same exact thing.
What is it?
Well, it's dog food.
Did you just say dog food?
Yeah, it's dog food.
Why did we put dog food in here?
What? It's just a little bit.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah, what?
It's just a little bit. Next time you didn't want to see me just to see the movie, just don't tell me. But just don't give me brownies. I don't even want to go to the movie now. I just want to wash the taste out of my mouth. There's got to be lemonade in there.
Okay, this next one is a little bit of audience participation too. You don't need to stand up. For the kids, you can stand up. Yeah.
And sing nice and loud, kids.
And sing really loud.
rains has fallen hard upon the ground. From the rain to rain, the wild and rushing river can be held like the rain. I will carry you where the wind flows. My heart racing when I lose a week as I walk to the edge. Know there is no turning back. Once I be at the ledge, I hear the rush. I hear a voice that's telling me inside. Take a leap of faith, so if I go, I'm dying, I'm going deep. You know my head, I want to be starting to rush, starting from. You know my head, I want to go. The river's wide, the river's wide. It's alive, so sink or swim, I'm dying. There is a supernatural power in this mighty river's flow. It can bring the dead to life, and it can fill an empty soul. Fill our hearts, the only thing we're feeling, and we're dying for. But we will never know the awesome power of the great God until we let ourselves get swept away into this reckless flood. So if you take my hand, close our eyes and help me breathe, and take a leap of faith. Come on, let's go. I'm dying, I'm going deep. You know my head, I want to be starting to rush. Starting to go. You know my head, I want to go. The river's deep, the river's wide, the river's water, the river's alive. So sink or swim, I'm dying. I'm dying. Come on, let's go. I'm dying. I'm going deep. Ain't on my head. I wanna be starting to rush, starting to go. Ain't on my head. I wanna go. The river's deep, the river's wide, the river's water, it's alive. So sink or swim, I'm dying. I'm dying. I'm going deep. Ain't on my head. I wanna be starting to rush, starting to go. Ain't on my head. I wanna go. The river's deep, the river's wide, the river's water, it's alive. So sink or swim, I'm dying. So sink or swim, I'm dying. So sink or swim, I'm dying.
That was fun. Can we do that again? It's come to the time where we give out flowers. Okay. This year, we would like to especially commemorate those lovely ladies that have been a member of our church for 50 years or more. There are ladies here that every Sunday have been blessing us with their presence and blessing us with their talents and time. I would like the youth and the kids to come up, and this is your chance to hand out flowers, folks. You've been asking. Okay. The first things, yeah, big ones first. Okay. I'm going to read some names, and the date that I'm reading is the date that the year that they became members of Eckworth. Doc Raver, 1930. If you could stand, that's okay. Betty Sitzler, 1940. Ruth Henson, 1951. Betty Powell, 1952. Anna Mae McGonigal, 1954. Ruth Ann Taylor, 1954. Betty Brink, 1955. Jenny Price, 1956. Betty Rabel, 1956. Debbie Rabel, I'm sorry. Joan Schwerin, 1956. Ella Kennedy, 1957. Doris Mayer, 1957. Anyone who's not here, if we bought plants for everyone, we'll make sure everyone gets their flower. Terry Neese, 1959. Jane Lynn, 1960. Anne Wright, 1960. Jean Cook, 1961. Eva Schultz, 1961. She's up here. Betty Jane Adair, 1961. Phyllis Leishon, 1961. Sandy Hancock, 1962. Marion Colton, 1962. Clara Prince, 1962. Marilyn Bellotti, 1964. Susan Kennedy, 1965. Nancy Quattrochi, 1965. Shelley Tippenhauer, 1966. Linda Sellers, 1966. And Pat Rambo, 1966. God bless all of you ladies. Amen. During our last hymn, if you still have a large flower in your hands, kids, you can put that one down. And during the final hymn, put it down on the altar now. During our final hymn, ladies, if you could please, we usually have all the ladies stand. Why don't we do that? Anybody that did not receive a flower, please stand, and the kids will bring their flowers to you. The middle ones. They had lots of fun decorating these with lace, and then I had lots of fun decorating them again.
And but some of the people that we read off that aren't here, if you're able to bring them a flower, please let us know, because we would like each and every one of the ladies that was not here this morning to be able to get their flowers, since we know some are in different homes and so forth. So if you could help us, that would be great.
Please join us in our final hymn, Pass It On. Please stand.
Oh,
it on is what disciples do, to share the good news of Jesus Christ. It's something that Epworth has been doing for more than 175 years. Many of you have been part of that over the years, but it doesn't end now. It means that we need to go for another 175 years to continue to share the good news that is the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. We need to pass it on. So let us leave this place. Let our light shine and pass it on.